Welcome back. Day 22, day 24, forgiveness, I think. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Be comfortable in your seat. Before we dive in, I want you to take a mental note of gratitude and internal applause. You have made it. Maybe you skipped a few days. Maybe you took a few days off. 24 days of meditation. 24 days of focusing with spirit. 24 days of acknowledging forgiveness. What does that feel like in your body as an internal applause? Take a few breaths. Slow belly breath in, long belly breath out. Really amazing that you've made it this far. After a few breaths, bringing awareness into this moment, a bit of internal applause later. When you're ready, open your eyes, coming back. Beautiful. So before I dive into today's class, I just want to share some wins that people have had so far. And I'll only hear handfuls of wins because, people will often, if I'm taking this class, I tend not to share my wins. It's just divvy. But I just want to give you a half a dozen wins or so that I've heard of so far. One woman has lost 7 pounds as of about a week or two ago. Another woman hadn't had periods since January, and we're in November now, and her period started 2 weeks ago, just a couple days ago, and she started this forgiveness challenge with all of you 24 days ago. So bravo, girl. Another one is a woman who's got this story, this pain body that she's stuck in around relationships, went out here and she realized, oh, freedom. In that moment, she realized that expression I often use, it never even happened. Another person shared with me that a lot of the pain they've had in their upper back is gone. Somebody else said to me a relationship that they've been wanting to improve, they don't belt their problems all the time. Somebody in the return to self container noticed like just so much ease around this angst she's had for so many years. Somebody else in my healing lab was saying that woman with the period thing, that was a woman from the healing lab. Another person from the healing lab, that clientele group, she was sharing how much just some of these chronic stories she's had since she was 5 years old are gone. I can keep going. But the list of y'all are like blowing my mind. So thank you. So today we're going to talk about, and if you're noticing, you're going to probably think, oh, she already said that. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I teach the same thing over and over again, but I'm saying it in a way that maybe the mind can hear it differently today. And I might have already said this, but I don't care because I don't remember what I said. But it really is understanding that we talked about the concept of illusion and reality. Illusion is a concept from A Course in Miracles that I know I said once before in these videos. It's hard for our brains to understand because, we're so convinced of this body, these earrings, this hair, this identity. The ego is convinced in doership and what I have to do to succeed and to prove my identity and prove my worth. Because we think we're separated from spirit. We talked about, I think yesterday, how the body isn't really even real. I'm just these molecules that my eyes see. But what if it's really not real? What if the only thing that's real is my essence? What is real is love. What is real is unconditionality. What is real is spirit. It's that love and peace and joy that I taught you in one of the first videos that you're sending to those people on your forgiveness list. Can you see the impact of that? You're sending the real thing. And when you send anger and fear and resentment, it just impacts you. So those grievances are blocking the miracles. And the miracle is your essence. You don't need to wait to the minute you take your last breath to forgive that person. Because I used to do work as a family doctor and I saw patients all the time. I'd watch people die. And during some of my years, I think it was a first or second year residency, one of my my trainings was in HIV medicine, because when I was training, the HIV epidemic was really big. And that'll age me a little bit. And I remember doing house visits to young men in their 20s dying. And I would bring tears to my eyes. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember going to lots of funerals of these patients. And as I got to know these people, some are 20s, some are 30s, and because I was a family doctor, I got to know them over time. What I discovered in almost everybody who I've watched die, not just the 20, 30-year-olds, but also the 80-year-olds that I've watched die, the 50-year-olds I've watched die, and there's been a lot. As they get closer to death, they scan their life and they focus on the pain that wasn't forgiven. And some of them forgive it and some of them don't. That's a choice we make right now. We don't have to wait till those weeks leading up to death. Because when you enter the spirit world, you realize nothing actually happened. The only real thing is love. The illusion is fear and lack. The only real thing is the divine nature. The only illusion is pain. But it's a retraining of the mind into your divine nature where healing begins. So let's take this into meditation. Go to close your eyes. And once the windows of the eyes close, just begin to feel your breath again. And hear the calmness of the breath and the fluidness of the breath. Hear the ease of the breath and the softness of the breath. The belly rises, the belly falls. The mind gets loud, the mind gets quiet. Just breathe. We explore meditation so that we can understand the fluctuations of the mind, so that we increase our presence, our awareness, in the sense that we're not our thoughts. And just breathe. So go, if you can, into the observer witness consciousness right now. And breathe. Long belly breath in. Slow belly breath out. Deep belly breath in. Quiet belly breath out. As you sit in the observer, if you're not this body, can you turn your back from the earth plane and go into the solar system, universe, the planets, the galaxy? There is a magical force that humans call God, the creator, or spirit, that is in charge of everything. Take a few breaths there. Can you see, sense, imagine, or feel that energy is in you? Feel that in your body. Take that in your breath. And be that in your knowing. Just stay here. My inner knowing is true. My inner knowing is free. My inner knowing can never be hurt. I am the divine essence of love and light, of spirit, of consciousness. Stay here. As your breath is slow and calm and deep, you begin to have a re-identification, not as this body, not as this human, but as the galaxy, as the solar system, as the divine I am. As your breath gets slower and quieter, deeper and calmer, starting to get more acquainted with the truth of who you are. After about 5 or 6 more slow, conscious breaths, when you're feeling ready, start to bring awareness back into this moment, back into this body, and gently open your eyes, coming back. Hope that helps. One thing I remind myself through the day sometimes is this isn't even real. Spirit is acting through me. I am the consciousness of the I am, and that's all I am. I hope that helps. So proud of you. You made it this far. We'll see you tomorrow.